There's still a big effort down here at the Hopewell Marina. As you can see, police agencies continue to search for this missing kayaker. Yeah, I'm even excited. I got my 4th of July shirt on, ready to go. And despite the rain we've been seeing this morning and overnight, leaders here at the Diamond are hopeful for a dry weekend. They have the tarp on the field behind me. Some even more good news from those of you living here in Richmond, as the Wawa off of Staples Mill Road, well, they're back up and running, filled up and ready to go. It's still a very active scene out here along 95 southbound as police continue to investigate this scene. However, we have learned more information on this crash. Over 9,000 tickets sold already. So Rob and Reba, it's best you get your tickets while you can. If not, you might be out of luck. I've already got my seat, so we're sitting here comfy, ready to go, watch the game and see some fireworks. Some big news out of Richmond's South Side this morning, as the One Casino and Resort is the proposal that the city of Richmond will go all in on. However, voters will have the last say.
Look, I just sent you a friend request.
There's a newfound brotherhood in the city of Richmond.
No, seriously, set that up with your attorney because I'd love that.
Richmond business owner Marquise Rose and Richmond police officer Christopher Shore formed a friendship 4 days ago during protests in the city.
Something told me just to show the world, get on Facebook and show them all of the issues that happened that night. I'm in my home city, downtown Richmond, Virginia.
Rose says he made his way to Lombardy Street.
This is where they broke into the Starbucks,
where several stores have been looted and damaged.
But then you got people that do stuff like this. This is not protesting.
So I just went up and just struck up a conversation with him.
The way that it works is we will operate off what they call a continuum of force, okay?
Rose says once the conversation started, his views began to change.
As we began to talk, the audience came around and we was just still having conversation. And I was like, wow, every officer is not the same.
And it was great because they asked all these direct questions. What our use of force policy was, what restraining techniques we use.
His video, recorded on Facebook Live, reached thousands of people and was shared hundreds of times.
We already don't do chokeholds. We already don't do a maneuver that puts our knee on somebody's neck. We already police each other, as in if we see an officer getting upset or is getting emotional on the scene, we remove them from that.
Every officer is not a bad officer. And I want people to know that, whether they're black, white, Hispanic, whatever color, but at the same time, there are some bad officers out there. And those officers need to be identified, removed from the streets, or as we say, retrain officers with people like Officer Shore, hopefully can train them.
Oathmen want the community to know that it's possible for police and the people they serve to communicate and understand one another better.
We need more brotherhood.
Absolutely.
And I know he's a Caucasian male and I'm an African-American male, but the community starts here. It's not about color, and that's what we need today.
Absolutely.
I was at high risk of getting this disease.
Kirk says he's been trying for months to get in touch with someone at the Virginia Employment Commission and the governor's office.
Calling every day, everything on the websites, every number I could find, emailing people, setting appointments. Nobody's returned my call.
I agree it's not a perfect situation, but I would just ask people to be patient.
Governor Northam addressed the issue with CBS 6 Wednesday night. Kirk says he heard the governor, but believes more needs to be done.
I've been patient for 3 months. I've run out of patience. What do you want me to do now? I need some money. I don't have any.
We reached out to the VEC. They say they now have more than 600 people working their call centers and even added a new unit just to answer emails. Kirk says he got a letter in the mail telling him that he was qualified.
Oh, it's $260 a week from unemployment. Then the federal government gives you $600.
And just hope someone can hear his plea.
To come out of all this, I know we're going to be stronger. We're going to make changes and make it better, but we got to fix what's broke right now, and people not having money is broke.
I think it's on that side of this road.
A search for a gravestone.
Let me look over here real quick.
That's the mission Judith Epps Wansley and her husband are on here at Woodland Cemetery in Henrico County.
Those two right there. Go over one. One more. Is that right there? Yep, that's it. We found it.
The pair were in search of Judith's grandparents and great-grandparents as part of Juneteenth.
Maurice R. Epps Sr., June 10th, 1901 to June 30th, 1986. And Annie, his wife, Annie F. Epps, April 4th, 1908 to October 31st, 1999.
The holiday celebrating the day in which slavery was ended in 1865.
And these are the ones that trace back to slavery?
Yes. Slavery and slavery and 6 Mount Zion.
But they weren't alone. Saturday, local and state leaders gathered at the cemetery to honor those buried here.
Many of the people out here in Woodland were born enslaved.
And to educate those in the community about the history of slavery.
And just the thought of what they had to live through, deal with, struggle, and fight for. But today, we have an opportunity as well to say to them, thank you.
I never met my great-grandfather, but I briefly met my great-grandmother. I remember her up in the room in my grandmother's house.
For Judith, she's just hoping this Juneteenth makes her ancestors proud.
I hope they can see it and realize that something is being done, that they're not forgotten, definitely not forgotten.